Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm sorry for the delay here. I was having some Zoom technical difficulties. I could not get on the website. So sorry for the delay, but we are just getting started. So I see some of you guys are just joining. Welcome. You are on time because 6:06 is apparently the start time tonight. So thanks for your patience, everyone. All right, I've got the dog and the cat here tonight, so hopefully they won't interrupt me. Hubby's not feeling well, so I'm sort of having to check in and make sure everyone's okay here. Well, let's get started. So thank you so much, everyone, for those of you that are here. Things seem to be settling down a little bit now that we're rounding into February, which is a good thing. All right, so this evening, I'm going to be hosting this Zoom webinar here where I share with you my best bottles, the 10 bottles that I will be enjoying throughout the month of February. Now, I have tasted all of these wines, okay? I've actually drank a couple of them already. It's because February's already started. All right, so if you need to hop off, or perhaps maybe you signed up and forgot to join in tonight, don't fret, you have a couple of options here. Number one, I have a blog post live on my website, briannecohen.com, where you can see all of the wines that I have included in this webinar. So I've got all the details there. Also, I will be posting this on my IGTV channel tomorrow. All right. So who am I and what do I do? Since there are some people here that I actually do not know personally, which is always nice to welcome new faces. So welcome. For those who don't know me, I am based in beautiful Los Angeles. And in the normal times, I am an event producer. So I produce large scale live events, mostly in the nonprofit sector. All right, and I also deliver wine education in person generally. So I'm going into people's private homes and into corporate spaces and doing that like a team building activity, okay? I also judge in international wine competitions. I hold the WSET diploma certificate, which is just a fancy certification, just meaning that I spent a lot of money and a lot of time drinking wine and learning about wine. All right, since COVID hit, the event side of my business, as you can imagine, is in total hibernation, won't be going back till next year probably. And I have been delivering virtual Vino wine education. And I've actually, since March of 2020, I've been sort of trying to tabulate as best as I can. I've seen over 2,500 people in my virtual wine tasting classes. And these are classes that I get hired mostly by corporate clients. I do some nonprofit work, also some individuals. And we have small format wine tasting sets sent to each attendee. So little baby bottles, we work through those, we taste them together, talk about them, very fun. All right, so how's this gonna work? I'm gonna share with you those 10 bottles that I mentioned that I'm gonna be enjoying for the month of February. And also if there's any questions, please ask. I've got the chat box up, so if you've got any questions or just wanna say, hey, let me know where you're located, that would be awesome. I will say I did have this beautiful PowerPoint little presentation set up that I had just learned how to do through OBS. For those who know how to use OBS, it's a virtual platform, and it wasn't working. Also, I was having that issue and then the Zoom issue before. So we don't get to see the PDF where I have all of the bottles, the bottle shots and the details, but remember you can see everything on my blog post that's live at briannecohen.com. All right, so let's get started. Like I said, this will be available also on my IGTV channel tomorrow. So what are you guys drinking? If you're drinking anything, please let me know. There's quite a few people here, so I'd love to know if you're sipping on anything delicious tonight. I just have water because I'll be talking the whole time. All right, so I've got 5 whites for you and 5 reds. Okay, so your first white is Casas De Ventos. It is a Vino Verde from Portugal. So who here's how to Vino Verde? I love Vino Verde. And this is your $10 bottle. People always want to know what's your best $10 bottle. So this is mine for February. Vino Verde is known for a very cheap and cheerful white wine. It's made from the Alvarinho grape, and actually in Spain, in Rías Baixas, they call it Albarino. So a lot of people have heard of that, okay? So these wines are known for being very high acid, crisp. They've got this sort of saline sea spray characteristic to them. But this wine actually is made from the Louro grape, Louro. Louro is a different white grape in this area of Portugal, okay, and it even says so on the bottle. And actually, Louro gives much more floral notes than you might normally find in an Albarino or a Vino Verde, okay, and that's because of that Louro grape. All right, so this wine is really great. It's crisp, it's clean, it's got these beautiful floral notes that I mentioned on the aroma and also on the palate. It's actually quite elegant, maybe even delicate. So those are not words that I would normally describe a $10 wine, but this wine hits all those marks. And I will say Spain and Portugal are your best places for values, to get that sweet spot, $10 to $15, really, really solid wines. Oh, I see Stag's Leap. That is not a $10 wine, John. That's what John's enjoying tonight. All right, that was your first wine. Number 2, we have the Firesteed Pinot Gris from the Willamette Valley of Oregon. And that wine retails for $15.99 a bottle. So let's just get one thing straight. For one, Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris are the same grape, okay? Pinot Grigio just signifies that we're talking about sort of the Italian expression of that grape. So Pinot Gris, which is what we're talking about today with this wine, hails from France. Actually, it's one of the well-known noble varieties, as they call it, in Alsace. It's a region in France. It's like just on the border with Germany. All right. In Oregon, actually, Pinot Gris and Chardonnay are neck and neck as tied for the most planted white grape, which is shocking. I totally would have assumed it was Chardonnay, but I guess there is a lot of Pinot Gris in the Willamette. Oh, fantastic. Tim's got his Firesteed in his glass. I love that. All right. So what I love about Pinot Gris has a really lovely like honeyed or like honeysuckle note. And that's really what I got with this wine. Really like a gently perfumed note, really. And some exotic tropical notes. Also that some of those exotic flavors are some of the markers for Pinot Gris. So really great acid and a fantastic value, like Tim said, fantastic value at $15.99, especially for the Willamette Valley, right? Wines are not always cheap there. So definitely check out and look for that Firesteed Pinot Gris. All right, your third white wine tonight is Aqueous Winery, Blanc. This is the 2018 from Lodi, California, and it retails for $34 a bottle. So Aqueous Winery, it's a fantastic spot. I highly recommend to visit, and I think they're open now, is led by Sue Tipton. So I know a lot of my wine people know Sue. Sue is a rebel in Lodi. Okay, she is a rebel in that Zin country of Lodi. That's what Lodi is known for, red Zinfandel, not white Zinfandel. Red wine is from the Zinfandel grape. So Sue is a white wine enthusiast. In fact, she only makes whites and rosés, no reds. I don't know of any other winery doing that. Does anyone know any other wineries that only make red or only make white? I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't heard of them. So I just think it's super remarkable that she's doing that, especially in Lodi. Oh, I've got someone drinking a Romanian wine. Fantastic. I love that. Very exotic. All right, so let's get back to Aqueous Winery. We're in Lodi. We've got Sue doing her white and rosé wines here. So what I love also about a visit to Aqueous Winery is that they do give you little nibbles with each wine tasting. It kind of adds to that European sort of feel and flair that she strives for. She focuses on white Rhone varieties, and this one actually is a blend of Grenache Blanc, Roussanne, and Viognier. So really, really pretty. This is her homage to a white Chateauneuf du Pape. Anyone like their white Chateauneuf du Pape? I'm into that. White or red. CDP, I'm here for it. So the wine has some stone fruit to it. You've got some apricot and peaches and pears and things like that. Also beautiful floral notes. I'm sensing a theme here. Everything, there's floral notes in all of these. I don't know if it's February, Valentine's Day, beautiful, beautiful floral note. And I definitely get that sometimes from white Rhones, which I've really, really been into during this quarantine. I've really gotten into my Roussannes and Marsannes. Oh, David, Massican, another winery with only, I don't know if I said that right. I've heard of that winery with only whites. All right, perfect. So Aqueous Blanc from Lodi. All right. Our next wine, our fourth white, this is the Oak Farm Vineyards Fianno 2019 Lodi, and this wine retails for $26 a bottle. So we're still in Lodi. We're stuck in Lodi. Isn't that a song? I think that's a song. Somebody tell me if that's a song. The Fianno grape, not from Lodi. Fianno grape is originally from Campania in southern Italy. You can also find it in Puglia and in Sicily. It tends to have sort of a waxy texture, and it's quite subtle. If I remember the Italian expressions that I've had before of the Fianno. But this wine, we're firmly in the new world here, so you're going to get a little bit more vibrancy here. So I got really good acid, really, really, like I said, vibrant fruit aroma. So you're getting things like always the stone fruit. Like I said, I've got a theme going here. Some tropical fruits. And there's a beautiful saltiness or a brininess. And that's also true for the Italian versions of Fianno. So great with seafood. If you're a shrimp lover, I'm a huge shrimp lover. I just went up to Malibu this weekend and had some grilled shrimp at Malibu Seafood. I would have definitely had a bottle of this Fianno with that. All right, Okay, so our last white wine today, this is a District 7 estate grown Sauvignon Blanc from Monterey, California. We are at $18 a bottle here. So District 7 is actually a brand that's under the Scheid Family Wines label. They're a longtime growers in Monterey County, up in that area. And their vineyards here are 100% sustainable, and all the fruit for this wine is estate. And they're actually quite well known for some of their sustainability initiatives. District 7 is 100% powered by renewable wind energy, which I love. I can get behind that. So in this glass, this Sauvignon Blanc, you very definitely, very clearly have a New World California Sauvignon Blanc in your glass. There's no question here, okay? So lots and lots of, I mean, it's a fruit bowl, right? So citrus and green fruit and stone fruit, all of the tropical fruits, pineapple, you got lots of beautiful pineapple notes. So if you're ready to move away from sort of that sea of all those like green notes in New Zealand Sauv Blanc, which I enjoy, but I find them to be one-trick ponies. I sometimes like a more vibrant Sauvignon Blanc, and this District 7 is a great option. All right, perfect. Tim loves the Oak Farm Fianno. Yeah, it's so good. I wish that's one that I drank already, so I don't have that to look forward to. All right, everyone, we are only 2 minutes behind, so we've caught up. 6:17. I'm going to now give you 5 amazing red wines to enjoy this month, and we'll round out at 6:30. Make sure to get y'all out in time to drink some more wine and maybe have some dinner. All right, so my first red wine. This is a long name for this wine. Okay, and I don't speak Italian, but I speak Spanish, so it's going to sound like I speak Italian. Azienda Agricola Cortesi Sabucci, Serrasuolo di Vittoria, DOCG. This is Classico, 2017. This is from Sicily, okay? It's a long name there. $24.99 a bottle here. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this wine. So here is your Southern Italian red wine entry into the mix here. So this is a blend of 70% Nero Diavola and 30% Frappato. So Nero tends to be the preferred red grape in these Southern Italian blends from Sicily, from this isle. And your Frappato tends to be the like supporting character, right? And that's exactly what we see in this blend here. So if you like rusticity, this wine's for you, okay? Or if you've been stuck drinking a lot of California red blends, you know, that you get at the grocery store and the big box wine retailers, one day I'm gonna do a blind tasting of all those wines because they taste exactly the same, right? Am I right? Red blends on any grocery store, big box shelf, all taste exactly the same, and I just can't stand them. They're just sweet and weird and funky, and it's just not my thing. But if it's your thing, that's okay, because I shouldn't be telling you what to drink. I'm just giving you suggestions, right? That's how we do this party. All right, so I digress. Okay, so we're talking about our Cortesi, Azienda Agricola Cortesi. Cortesi is the name of this winery, also a farm as well, okay? And so it's rustic. We're in Sicily, Southern Italian red here. And don't let that be a dig when I talk about rusticity. That's not a dig. I'm not trying to make you feel a certain way about this wine. It's just that, you know, you're going to have more savory notes to them. It's not going to be easy. I always think of wines that, you know, fresh and fruity, and fruit and flower are pretty and lovely and nice. And rustic wines, you got to like dig in and work for them, right? They're going to literally smell and taste like dirt sometimes, and that's just how it is. So you have to put in a little bit of work and be ready to roll your sleeves up, and I like that. Okay, so this wine has still lots of beautiful, bright, juicy fruit, but it has that savory character. I was picking up the note that I have here. I was picking up like a black olive, and also that dirt. It's like you put your hand in potting soil and you smell it, right? And it just makes me think of Italy. Rusticity, I think of Italy when I think of things that are rustic. So this wine has definitely secured its spot in the Rustic Olympics, and I'm here for it. So this wine also calls for food. It's quite versatile. I mean, I would put it with something that has tomatoes, obviously, because everything in Italy has tomatoes, but also some savory things. So maybe like capers or green bell peppers or anchovies, maybe. I don't know, just a thought. So that's the Azienda Agricola Cortesi, and the wine is called Sabucci, and it's from the Serrasuolo di Vittoria, DOCG. That's a smaller region, sub-region within Sicily. All right. Okay, now we're moving to South Africa. We're taking a little trip here. So we are having the Kumusha Cabernet Sauvignon 2019, Western Cape, South Africa, $16 a bottle. Okay, I want to start with this wine by painting a picture of South African wine right now in 2021. I guess we're in, God, I still want to say 2020. Domestic alcohol sales in South Africa have been banned for most of the pandemic. They've been prohibited and banned essentially indefinitely. So this is meant to be a COVID preventing measure to prevent people from gathering, right? If you can't drink or smoke, because cigarettes and tobacco are also banned, then they think they're assuming that less people will get together and there will be less spread. So as you can imagine, the industry is totally decimated. Like it's like red alert, save us. It's really, really bad what's going on in South Africa for these the wine industry. Okay, so exports are still allowed. So I do encourage you, if you're shopping, wherever it is, I don't care if it's a grocery store, it could be at Total Wine or Bevmo, you could be at your local wine shop, maybe you're ordering online, grab a bottle of South African wine. Great values. You can find lots of stuff under 20 bucks. This one, like I mentioned, is 16, and you're going to be supporting that industry that's hurting so bad. So Kamusha, I'm very, very excited to share this for a few reasons. Number one, the owner and winemaker, his name is Tinashe. He just became a father. I just saw that on Instagram. I think his little baby was born yesterday. So many mazdals to Tinashe. So Kamusha actually means, and I have to look at my list here because I didn't memorize this, is the in the Zimbabwean Shona language means your origin or your home. Okay, so that's what Kamusha is. And this winery was founded by, like I mentioned, by Tinashe Nyamudoka. And Tinashe is an award-winning sommelier. Okay, he's very, very well known, and this is his baby. And also he has a new baby. This winery is his project. So he's definitely worked his way up in the industry. Like I said, award-winning sommelier. And this is not your daddy's cab. This wine is super fun. I loved this wine when I tried it. It was so exciting. Remember, Kamusha Cab 2019, South Africa. It's lighter and brighter than most cabs. So it's, like I said, this is not your daddy's cab, okay? Red fruit is really the dominant sort of flavor here versus black fruit that you normally get with cab, okay? Dare I say that you might want to chill it down a little bit? That's what I did. I chilled it down a little bit, and you know, I think the kids say that it's a crushable wine. Is that what they're saying these days? Crushable, smashables, another one. Like, it's not what you would think with cab. With cab, you think big, you think heavy, you think Napa, you think I want a steak. This is like chill it down for a few minutes and you have a really easy drinking, lovely red from Kamusha. Okay, I also want to share with you that if you find this wine anywhere, not only are you supporting a Black-owned winery, Kamusha, I also have a little trick for you to find this wine. So I actually source it from the Urban Grape. The Urban Grape is a Black-owned wine shop in Boston. So I'm not in Boston, I'm in LA, but they ship nationwide, and they have what I have found to be the most extensive collection of producers of color of wine and spirits. So if that interests you, if that's something that you want to support, and it's easy to find, it's searchable. Shop producers of color, you can see everything, you can support these businesses very easily. Not all wine shops are doing that online with their online shop. So thumbs up to Urban Grape, love you guys, and hopefully you guys will try this Kamusha Cab. All right, we have our next wine, the Diora La Petite Grace Pinot Noir, 2018 from Monterey again, we're back there, $26 a bottle. So the tasting notes that I share are always mine. Like everything I say is like my, my thoughts and my impressions. Sometimes I pull a descriptor from a winery tasting note or something, but rarely do I pull the full note directly from the winery, and this is that case. So I'm actually just gonna read it to you because it was literally the prettiest tasting note I had ever read, and it described exactly what I was tasting when I enjoyed this wine. Dark ruby in the glass, aromas of dark cherries and raspberry mingle with nuances of licorice, soft and velvety, robust with a voluptuous and full-bodied mouthfeel. Remember, this is New World Pinot Noir. This is an Old World, so it's going to be a little heftier. The palate unfolds with decadent layers of intense chocolate-covered dark red cherries. New World, and a delicate hint of wild sage. There's that earthiness, herbaceous note. A long lingering finish instills a lasting impression of rich concentrated flavors. I just thought that was so pretty, so I just decided to share it. All right, moving on. We got 2 more wines left, guys, and I forgot, actually my last one is a dessert wine. Okay, so we're gonna have our last still dry red. So we have from Caliza Winery in Paso Robles. We have the Simpatico 2017, and this wine retails for $60. Caliza is actually one of my favorite wineries in Paso, and I've only known them for less than a year. I had a dear friend recommend I connect with them and taste their wines, and then it was like 2 or 3 other people mentioned their name, you know, and then you start hearing it everywhere, and I'm so glad that I made a connection there, and I've been enjoying their wines ever since. So Caliza means limestone in Spanish, okay? And that's the predominant soil type, just so you understand where the name comes from. There they focus on Rhone varieties, okay, with a few other grapes mixed in, Tempranillo being one of them, which is what we have here. So this wine is, I've got my notes here, 72% Tempranillo, 16% Mourvedre, and 12% Grenache. I even think we might have Carl, the winemaker, on the call here today. It's definitely a big, bold, robust Paso red, okay, but with a nice firm foot into the old world. And that's what I love about this wine. There's that tension, that balance, right? So it's got beautiful, earthy, savory, a little bit rustic, even though it's quite a polished wine. All of Carl's wines are. There's that characteristic to it that just makes it so interesting. And that's sort of what Tempranillo sometimes gives me. and also there's like smokiness and tobacco. I forgot about that part. All right. I also love that wine. Really big, robust reds I enjoy with aged cheeses. So like aged cheddar or aged Gouda are great options. Just, you know, they can match each other. They're both big, they're both bold, and then they just kind of works well. So that's what I like to enjoy with my Simpatico. All right, let's move on to our dessert wine. So no hablo Portuguese, but I'll do my best here. Quinta Infantado, Tawny Port from Douro in Portugal. This wine retails for $18 a bottle. So y'all know I love me a good, that's a very loud helicopter. Y'all know I love me a good Tawny Port. I think I've had a Tawny Port on this call since I started it in December. I just love Tawny Port. This one has that beautiful deep garnet color. I'm definitely gonna have a glass tonight, actually, now that that reminds me. Beautiful aromas, really, really, really deep concentrated fruit, okay? Confected. And it's also has this, I wrote this and I'm like, is this a word? Raisination. Is raisination a word? Anyone drop in the chat? Let me know. It's like a raisin characteristic, but like raisination. I don't know if that's, it could be something I made up, and that's fine. Also toasted nuts. That's my favorite tasting note in Tawny Port, is that toasty nut feel, nutty toffee aromas. It actually, I think why I like it is because Tawny Port reminds me of the streets of Buenos Aires. So my family's from Buenos Aires. I've been many times, and they have, you know, street nuts. They call them garrapiñadas. I don't know. I know New York has street nuts. They might have a name too. But you know that smell. It's that big silver thing, and they're stirring it with the sugar and whatever else they put in there. That's delicious. So Tawny Port just kind of gives me that sort of feeling, that toffee sort of toasted nuttiness to it. So that's the Quinto do Infantado Tawny Port, 18 bucks. I think I got that at Trader Joe's, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so that's it, guys. Those are my 10 best bottles. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming tonight. Thank you so much. If you have any requests, or you're like, oh my gosh, Brienne, you have to try this wine, it's fantastic, y'all know where to find me. So I'm going to drop in the box here my social media handle. I think everyone here knows that I cannot talk and type at the same time, so I have to, yeah. So Somspirations, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I just joined Clubhouse. Is anyone on Clubhouse? Trying to figure that out. It's kind of fun. All right. So any requests or anything, that's where I'm at. You can like DM me on Instagram. You've also got my website, briennecohen.com. Okay, and I did want to share with you just one thing, my next event that I have going on. Let me just pull the link, because you have to have it in a different place. We're coming right back, my friends. Okay, this is like, it's hard to multitask. Okay, so here we go. Sharing the link for my next event that's coming up. I do this Breeze Best Bottles, just what I'm doing tonight, once a month. 30 minutes, 10 bottles. Like I said, I had a beautiful presentation to show you, and that just didn't happen tonight, but you'll see it on my blog. And then I also do a virtual tasting event once a month, open to the public. Normally I do those small format tasting sets that I talked about, but this time I'm actually doing full bottles. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So my next event is going to be wine and chocolate, not tied into Valentine's Day. None of that business. So I'm doing it February 25th, so you can get through the Hazara of Valentine's Day. All right, February 25th at 6 p.m. We're going to taste through, and there's a fun little theme here. We're going to taste through 3 different wines, and then we're also going to enjoy a custom box of brigadeiros. Has anyone had a brigadeiro? Brigadeiro is a Brazilian chocolate. Okay, it's a Brazilian chocolate that is sort of described as, it's like it's right between like a truffle and a caramel. Okay, really delicious. So we're gonna have brigadeiros from a local brigadeiro maker here, Maya's Brigadeiros here in LA. You will get a 6-pack of flavored brigadeiros. I will be pairing that with 3 wines. So we're gonna have a Prosecco. You'll get a half bottle of Prosecco. Yes, you can pair white wine with chocolate, it's possible. And then I will have 2 red wines to share. We will have a Portuguese blend and we will also have an Argentine wine. Okay, so you'll get 2.5 bottles of wine. You get your 6 brigadeiros, so it's perfect for 2 or 3 people. The ticket price is $80, not bad. That's all in, including shipping and all of the things. And you can get your ticket at the Eventbrite link right there. So I think that's everything I needed to share with you guys. So everyone, thank you. Thanks for your patience at the beginning. Next month, maybe I'll have it figured out that I can have the bottle shots for you perfectly. Everyone stay healthy, stay grateful, stay thankful, all the things. And thank you so much for tuning in, and cheers. Cheers with my water, and be well. Bye, guys.